Let's do this. Leroy! Hello, YouTube audience, friends, family, little cousins. Today, we're gonna go back. Like, way, way back. When I was a kid, I used to dream that one day I would make a video that would get 1 million views. Well, 20 years later, I've made over 200 videos with at least 1 million views. But how did I do that? When I first started playing Rocket League, I was terrible. And when I first started uploading videos, they were terrible. So how did I go from complete noob to pro YouTuber? Well, it only took me 10 years. In fact, I uploaded this video almost exactly 10 years to the day that I played Rocket League for the first time, November 14th, 2015, when my big cousins Connor and Summer showed me the game on Connor's awesome battle station. So I don't know if anyone even cares to watch this, but this is like the entire history of my channel, I guess. It's not a compilation video, it's all new content. The script is 31 pages long, okay? I have a lot to say. I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion about my own content. I'm going to tell you which of my videos I hate and which ones I'm genuinely proud of. I'm going to share all the lessons I learned about running a YouTube channel and each video that helped me learn that lesson. I'm even going to show you the videos that I have completely unlisted because they're so bad. It's going to make you go, oh, I could be a YouTuber? I'm going to take you through each of the last 10 years so you can see what the long-term progression of a content creator actually looks like. And maybe that will help you in your own creative journey, whether that's your own YouTube channel or something else. I want to show you that there's a path to success no matter what your topic is. I mean, I did it in Rocket League. That's a niche game. Or at least it was when I started. By the time Rocket League went free to play in 2020, I had already made 300 videos about it. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's speedrun my entire channel. In July of 2015, Rocket League was released to the world, but I didn't start playing until November, 4 months later. So this is me, playing in 2015. Now keep in mind, I was a very casual gamer, okay? I barely knew about the existence of esports, and I didn't even really watch any gaming channels on YouTube, which I know sounds crazy considering my present career, but it's true. I was a complete outsider to the world of gaming content. Looking back, this would actually serve me really well. But here in 2015, I was just the ultimate noob, man. I was just driving a flat car, trying to smack the ball around. I didn't even dream of making content about Rocket League, which was probably for the best, because, look, I was terrible. I had 0 videos, 0 views, and 0 skill. 2016. Year 2. In 2016, I also didn't make a single Rocket League video. For one, my PC was barely powerful enough to play the game, much less record and edit videos. That's probably why I was so bad. It was my PC's fault. I was a video editor by trade with a background in film production, so I knew how to shoot and edit videos. I just didn't see myself ever doing that in Rocket League. I mean, who would even watch that? Later that year, I upgraded my PC, and suddenly the thought occurred to me that I could make some videos about the game that was taking up more and more of my time. Rocket League was becoming my favorite game, and I was slowly but surely getting better. But progress was slow. Like I said, I didn't watch any Rocket League YouTube channels or esports, which was in its infancy. I had no idea the optimal way to play the game. I was just figuring things out for myself. I was a very casual player. But all that would change in the next year. 2017, year 3. Now I get to show you my first Rocket League video, which I posted on January 20th, 2017.
Let's do it.
It's not the one you see publicly on my channel, like I hinted at before. It's a different, unlisted one that I've never shown anyone. Ready to see the first real SunlessKhan video? Here you go.
Hi everybody, I'm Sunless, and today we are going to play Rocket League.
Whoa, we're gonna play Rocket League? Awesome. So not only does this video show how far I've come, it also shows how far Rocket League has come. The reason I made this video was to show how to use a special mod to have specific shots repeated in training. You guys now know this as training packs, but that wasn't in the game back then. There were so few training tools. You had to be on PC and you had to use this mod to create something like this. I remember showing my console friends and they were like, "What? You could practice the same shot over and over? Like, we really sucked in the first year of Rocket League, guys. I was like Challenger Elite here, maybe Rising Star, Superstar, something. Today, this looks like bronze.
I try not to take it too seriously, but now, of course, if you're a Rocket League player, you know it can get a little toxic, a little competitive.
I think it's funny that I'm already pointing out how toxic Rocket League is in 2017. Anytime someone says Epic made Rocket League toxic, I show them this video from Neat Mike back in 2015.
Oh, you don't want to watch that replay, do you, pussy boy?
It's always been toxic.
But
But anyway, back to the story. Next, I made some gameplay videos, which are
Got it.
Okay.
very interesting.
What just happened?
Well, actually, they're not very interesting, and definitely did not get any views. 2017 was a year of experimentation for me, because I also uploaded a plethora of videos on different games, all of which are now unlisted. I was playing some pretty obscure games, and I'm not sure what my strategy was, other than just recording every single game I would come across.
Kind of reminds me of Rocket League a little bit with the...
I mean, I was throwing everything at the wall to see what stuck. And let me tell you, that shit was not sticking. So finally I thought, let me put some effort into a more cinematic Rocket League video. I had just figured out how to use the replay system to record my own custom footage and was eager to try it out. So I created a montage with the reading of an inspirational poem as the audio, and it was a huge success. Just kidding, no one watched it. It took me weeks to edit, and no one watched it. And that's when I learned YouTube lesson number 1. Just because you work hard on a project doesn't mean people are automatically going to watch it. Later, I would learn that high effort actually does pay off, but you have to put the effort into the right things. An uninteresting video won't be helped by a high amount of effort. This would take me years to learn and practice. Despite video number 17's failure, I wasn't discouraged. I just wanted to try again and make more videos.
What's up, everybody? It's Sunless. Playing some more Rocket League today.
That being said, if my videos kept getting 0 views, I probably wasn't going to continue much longer. That's just reality. In video 19, 10 tips that will make you grand champion, I took a different approach, abandoning the serious cinematics for a more satirical piece of content.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and it's similar in Rocket League. You lose 100% of the games in which you're not hitting the ball 100% of the time.
And that also got no views. Then one Sunday evening, I got tilted by my ball-chasing teammates and decided to throw together a quick little video to make fun of them as a sort of parody tip video. The inspiration for this was a really old series that I used to watch called You Suck at Photoshop, where this depressed-sounding man showed you Photoshop tips while clearly using it to vent about his love life.
My name is Donnie, and you suck at Photoshop.
It was hilarious.
Good. Now we're just gonna grab a simple layer. I'm in the basement!
I called my version
Why You Suck at Rocket League.
posted it to the Rocket League subreddit, and went to bed. When I woke up, I glanced at my channel before going into work, and my mouth dropped in shock. I had 300 subscribers! I was in! I had finally made it! It was my first success on YouTube, and the catalyst for my entire career. It's funny that it was such a small spark, but I guess that's all you need when you're that desperate for attention. And that's when I realized I needed to make more videos exactly like this. And that was actually really smart. A lot of young YouTube channels don't capitalize on that first success. They go a different direction or upload tons of status updates and thank you videos. Now I admit I do have my fair share of status updates and thank you videos, and now they are all unlisted because they are incredibly cringy.
That's for 3,000.
YouTube lesson number 2. Announcements, thank you videos, and status updates don't get views, so your viewers won't see them. Once you find something people like, you need to keep going that direction. And this was no problem for me because I loved making these videos.
Why you suck at Rocket.
I really got into a rhythm with the series and ended up releasing 22 Why You Suck at Rocket League episodes. And I really felt like I connected with an audience for the first time. I usually kicked off these videos with some strange, unhinged cinematic, and then it was like 3 minutes of stupid tips, and that was it. They were actually kind of terrible, especially this one.
Keys for days. I pays and pays. Oh, I just lost the game in my whole team.
So I look back at these videos and cringe pretty hard, but they're kind of cute. In this one, I wrestle with the concept of rank in Rocket League and basically admit that I'm a plat rat.
Not good enough to stream on Twitch.
I was realizing that if I wanted to be a content creator, in Rocket League, I probably needed to get a little better at the game. I remember getting comments like, how can you give tips when you're in gold? And while I really hated getting called out like that, I couldn't deny the truth in it. I didn't really have the motivation to improve my skill before, but now I did because I wanted to get better so I could improve my content.
I always train before I play for like half an hour or so I do get a really good warm-up in, and it's really made a big difference.
So I started grinding free play and diving more into training to improve my skill and rank.
After doing that for about a week, I ranked up, and I still have a month before the season ends, so I'm hoping to get those champion wheels locked down.
I did hit champion that year, thanks to a mysterious stranger named Colonel Wong, who would actually feature quite a lot in my early gameplay videos.
Control. Nice.
Towards the end of the year, I made an ultimate training guide, which actually still kind of holds up today and has over 1 million views. When I initially released it, it actually didn't really do that well, and I didn't think of it as a success. But over time, it steadily gained views and now has more than many of the Why You Suck at Rocket League videos. YouTube lesson number 3. Not every video is a smash hit out of the gate, but if the content itself is good and the topic is evergreen, as YouTubers like to call it, it can do really well in the long run. At the end of 2017, my first year of grinding YouTube, I had 70 videos, only 34 of which are now publicly listed, 42,000 subscribers, and 4 million views. Nice. In 2018, I doubled down. Like, really, I made twice as many videos this year as the previous year. And in fact, I made more videos this year than any other year in my YouTube career. Unfortunately, quantity doesn't always equal quality, and my growth was very slow during the first part of the year. I remember feeling quite impatient and many times like my channel was stagnant and that might not even be worth uploading anymore. I really considered quitting. Why You Suck at Rocket League didn't get as many views as before. My gameplay videos, which I uploaded every day in the month of March with my new collaborator Floomp, were kind of just bad. And some of the other concepts I tried just really didn't work. Whenever I played a different game, that also didn't work. But within all those failures and stagnation, I was learning more and more. I was still working full-time at my job as a video editor, and I didn't feel like I had the time to flesh out more complex video ideas. So in a way, low-stakes, low-quality content was all I could do. But the most important thing was I was still enjoying myself, I had a small but engaged audience that liked watching my videos, and I liked making videos for them.
My boys wanted
My kids
it.
wanted it first too.
They thought it was the coolest car on the road.
Best family car there is.
When you sit in the seat, you fall in love with a car.
The space for the luggage, the space for the kids.
Now you can really see how roomy.
It has a hip feel to it.
I was spending pretty much every second of my time outside of work on my channel. While I was still very much a small YouTube channel, well under 100k subs, I was starting to get a little recognition in the Rocket League community, which was greatly appreciated. Even if it was just little things like, oh, you're the Why You Suck at Rocket League guy.
You're smart. I like him.
One thing that really surprised me about the Rocket League audience on YouTube is they were generally really nice, and many of my comments were very supportive and genuinely encouraging, and that was one of the main things that kept me going. Now, of course, I would also get some negative comments. Learning to accept these negative and sometimes downright antagonistic comments would be a career-long struggle for me, but it was an important one. Ignore the haters is the rallying cry of the pop influencer. However, being sensitive to both the positive and negative things my audience was saying, I would argue played a big part in my growth and eventual success. YouTube lesson number 4. You won't hear this one often. Listen to your haters. Now, don't get me wrong, these people really got under my skin sometimes. I hate when people are rude and stupid. I'm just saying you can use their lack of human decency to your advantage. They might be giving you the uncomfortable truth that a loving fan would never. Being sensitive doesn't have to be a negative trait. The more I listened, the faster I grew.
Hello.
Are you Man of Vault?
Yes, that's me.
Are you ready to go to London?
In the summer of 2018, I went to my first RLCS event with my friend Man of Vault.
This is amazing.
Crazy story. I actually met Man of Vault when he commented on a random PUBG video I posted in 2017. So we played some games together and found out we lived in the same city. So we decided to travel to RLCS together. I loved RLCS, but at this point, I didn't really have any connections with the more popular pros and creators, and still felt like kind of an outsider to the scene. But I'm glad I went as a fan, because little did I know, this very event would end up being one of the most important events in RLCS history, and would inspire me to make some of the most pivotal pieces of content on my channel. I took time off work, flew to London, and witnessed this.
It all comes down to this.
This was so loud in this arena. I love that I have this recording for so many reasons. First of all, the crowd going berserk, the security guards coming out to make sure we don't mob the stage. All the pros that had been eliminated so far, because this was the championship, this was the grand final, had come down to the bottom of the stage, so they were kind of like with the crowd. This has never been replicated in another RLCS event. This was a unique moment. And if you're not familiar, this is the goal. It was deafening in there. You can see why this moment had such a big impact on me and all RLCS fans. And that was it. Around this time, I got a phone call from the owner of a small esports org called Allegiance, who had a team that competed in Rocket League and had just made it to the RLCS. His name was Connor, and he had the idea to sign me and my friend Floomp to his org, not as players, but as content creators. We would be paid a small monthly salary, and our only obligation was to attend events and represent the org. So of course I said yes. Sounds amazing. Today, it's incredibly common for creators to be signed with orgs, but back then, as far as I know, Floomp and I were the first non-pros in the Rocket League community to be signed to an esports org.
Oh, this is something that like not a lot of, I haven't seen this much.
No,
this is pretty rare.
I haven't actually seen it at all. At least not in Rocket League. I'm sure it's more commonplace in bigger esports.
Connor saw the potential in me well before I had really made much of an impact on Rocket League, which I think is really cool. Years later, when Allegiance was shut down, which unfortunately happens a lot in the volatile esports world, foreshadowing, Connor would become my brand manager, negotiating all my third-party deals and sponsorships, and he continues to do that to this day. Business! Meanwhile, I was still making a large variety of videos. But by the end of the summer of 2018, I was finally starting to figure out how to produce more of what people actually wanted to watch, and stop wasting my time on things they didn't. This might seem kind of obvious, but that's an important thing that a YouTuber needs to figure out. One of these breakthrough videos, I'll call them, was called Every Rocket League Player. I came up with this video while I was watching the movie Black Panther outside on the lawn at a local park.
I still can't do it.
I would learn that many of my best ideas would come at random moments while I was doing something completely unrelated to Rocket League. I was starting to see the importance of those key elements: good title, good thumbnail, good concept, and good execution. Man, this YouTube stuff is hard. You basically have to pay attention to every aspect of the content to have success. You can't really slack in any category. And that was finally clicking a little bit for me. I remember looking at the view spike from this video and thinking, wow, I never thought a Rocket League video could do that well. I thought I was already doing as well as I could. As it would turn out, I could actually do much better.
Do you think that Rocket League will be around 2 years from now?
One of my fondest Rocket League memories came in late summer, when Floomp challenged me to a 1v1. It would be streamed on the largest showmatch channel on Twitch, Johnny Boy.
Yeah, Allegiance did just qualify for RLCS.
Johnny would typically showcase top-level talent in the game, but every once in a while he would host some slightly less serious matchups, like this one. Me versus Floomp. I was starting to approach everything I did in Rocket League through the lens of content creation, and I thought this would make a really good video, especially if I did something extra special in the match. I decided to pull a diabolical prank on Floomp.
Can I let you guys in on a little bit of a secret here? This is actually a prank on Flump for game 1. And I know a lot of your Flump fans, but just go with it. This is going to be very funny. So Flump, he thinks he's playing against SunlessKhan. This is actually Lethamir on SunlessKhan, and he's going to slap Flump silly. And then after that, we're going to do the normal best of 5. But Flump has no idea this is going to happen. That's why I asked that they're not going to be watching my stream. This is Lethamir. He's going to start off slow. He's going to act like Sunless. Then he's going to clap Flump so hard.
Leading up to the match, I was pretty nervous. And I remember thinking about it all day while I was at work. Would Floomp actually think it was me playing, or would it be a massive disaster? But it went even better than I expected.
Oh my god, you're a god.
Going after the ceiling shot, surely he's gonna know. Look at that. What ceiling shot right over the top of Flip. The WCF from Flip. He has no idea.
Lethamyr would go on to feature in nearly all of my biggest videos, so the importance of his collaboration with my channel can't really be overstated. I think this was one of the first Rocket League prank videos, which would end up being an entire category of Rocket League content. I'm not saying I'm the inventor of pranks, I'm just saying no one was really doing that in Rocket League content at the time. My mindset and strategy around YouTube was evolving quite a bit, and in the fall of 2018, I hit 100,000 subscribers and got my silver plaque. Oh no, is that a thank you video?
Today is a very special day. Today we are celebrating...
Yep, I still had a lot to learn. In video number 157, I reviewed a new third-party tool called ballchasing.com. It's an amazing tool, but was it really worth making a video about?
You can even look at each person's settings.
Probably not. After it performed poorly, I remember thinking, that stinks. Why am I making these filler videos? Why don't I just only make banger videos? Doesn't that sound stupidly obvious? Like, just make good videos, bro. Be more selective with ideas rather than just churning out whatever comes to mind every day. The big videos would get 4 or 5 times the amount of views, sometimes 10 times. So why not focus on one good video instead of 10 okay ones? That's just efficiency. Plus, viewers would stick around for future videos if they started to expect only the best content. Your reputation matters. It's like a relationship with your audience. You can harm it with certain actions, and you can build and repair it with other actions. From then on, I became more committed to delivering higher value to my viewers. Geez, I sound like a CEO. We need to deliver higher value to our customers. So I put more effort into ideation, and this led me to my first successful esports documentary. A story about the legendary event that I had witnessed.
The story behind the best goal in Rocket League history.
This project took me a little longer to complete than most of the time, and I was worried it would throw off my upload schedule. But I decided to keep working at it, and it paid off big time. Posting good stuff is way more important than regular stuff. The response to this video was one of the best I had since my first Why You Suck at Rocket League. Today, we have many incredible cinematic productions on Rocket League esports, some of the best coming from a creator named Waitin. But back then, no one was really putting out content like this in Rocket League. It wasn't like I was inventing these ideas, I was just taking things from my interests outside of gaming, like sports, film production, comedy, and bringing that into Rocket League content. That's where a non-gaming background really helped me. However, all these breakthroughs I was experiencing on the channel would be nothing compared to what happened on October 25th, 2018. Video number 175. It wasn't a huge production, it didn't take a ton of preparation or editing, yet it would be the biggest video on my channel so far, and my first viral video. It was called I hired a Rocket League coach on Fiverr, then challenged him to a 1v1. Anticlimactic, I know. The interesting thing about this video is I wouldn't have been able to do it when I was first starting out, because the concept wouldn't have worked. The whole thing relied on the Fiverr coach recognizing me, but me not realizing this, which is what made it entertaining.
His name was SunlessKhan, something like that.
It was unplanned and authentic, and the Fiverr coach ended up being a really awesome, good-hearted kid.
Have you heard of that car? Oh, the Scarab.
I heard it's pretty good. I was like, oh my god.
Out of nowhere, this video hit 1 million views, fulfilling my childhood dream. Now, I referred to this as my first viral video, which might be a familiar term to you, but you might not think of it as applying to my channel, and I would have told you the same thing. I thought a viral video was a cat playing the piano for 500 million views. But going viral really just means reaching an audience far outside your normal sphere. These viral videos are what sends a YouTube channel into the stratosphere very fast. So one of the best things you can do as a creator is focus on ideation for videos that have a chance at going viral. Don't make filler, shoot for the moon with smash hits. Easier said than done, yes, but you'll never do it if you don't even try to make content that has mass appeal. The challenge is to find the sweet spot between what you like to make and what has the most broad appeal. That's what I was starting to do at the end of 2018.
It's kind of pretty much all I think about now. What's the next video I'm gonna make? Even though we're not, I still don't feel like we're like that big. I still feel like a very small YouTuber.
But to be able to like be signed with like an esports org and have them send you to like a gaming conference feels like so surreal.
I feel lucky.
The month after I released my first viral video, my channel earnings were nearly 3 times that of my real job. So it was becoming clear to me that not only was it the right move to pursue YouTube full-time, it was approaching the point of it being irresponsible not to. So in late fall, I informed my employers that I would be leaving my job, which I loved, to take a shot at full-time YouTube starting January 2019. I'd been making YouTube videos every second of my spare time, so now that I'd be able to do it full-time as my job, well, it was quite a thrilling prospect. I'd be my own boss. Those last couple months in 2018 went by so slowly. But at last, the new year approached, and I was ready.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
I had 191 videos made, 212,000 subscribers, 30 million views, and I was on my own. 2019, year 5. Now that I had all my time to devote to YouTube, you might think that my channel would suddenly take off as I produced hundreds of hit videos. At least that's what I thought would happen. But I was in for a huge wake-up call. Right as I was about to post my first video of the year, I got the worst food poisoning of my life. To make matters worse, the video got off to a really slow start views-wise, and I remember laying on my couch sick and looking at my low views, wondering if I had made a huge mistake. But remember, lesson number 3, not every video was a huge hit at first. I remember reading a comment that said, "Isn't he full-time now? I feel like his content is declining." And I just thought, man, this guy's right. I've lost my touch. Well, that video now has 4 million views. When I didn't see immediate results at the beginning of the year, I was discouraged. My views were down, my revenue was down to half of what it was when I decided to leave my job. I was determined to come up with some better ideas. I had to. It was my job now.
Thank you for the $600 donation. Can we get some poggers in the chat, guys?
One day I was walking my dog in the morning, which I now had the freedom to do. Nice. I came up with the idea to compare 3 different Rocket League players' skill levels, and that resulted in video 194, which would be a pretty immediate success. And it would be the start of a new category of videos on my channel, which I would describe as experiments that usually involved volunteer participants. When I was working my 9 to 5, I didn't really have the time or capacity to find people to participate in my videos. So being a full-time YouTuber really opened up my content possibilities because I had time to organize more complex ideas. This was finally having an impact on the quality of my content as the year went on. Like 2018, 2019 was a year of experimentation. With more time, I was able to try more things. Some of which, of course, flopped, but others would lead to even more categories of video types on my channel. Like video 211, PC players versus Xbox players, a wacky show match that I simply edited down to the most exciting parts and commentated on it. And it turned out to be a really enjoyable, fun format. Another long-standing series on my channel would be Guess That Rank, where I'd have a number of guests try to guess the rank of regular players.
Oh, except for Floomp. I just showed him 5 clips of himself to see how he'd guess. I told him I would be showing 5 different ranks, but they're all literally just him playing in the last 3 months.
Yeah, this guy's pretty high ranked.
I was doing essay-style videos that I'm still really proud of today, like 214, the reason toxic players are so good. 227, the 5 stages every Rocket League player goes through, and 215, the problem with every Rocket League car.
I don't want a McLaren. I want a 2009 Honda Civic or a 2001 Dodge Caravan.
I definitely had my fair share of flops this year too. Sometimes back to back, and it'd feel like I'd be in a funk for months. It's easy to look back now and realize those were just sporadic periods in my channel's long history, but I remember very vividly feeling like an absolute failure during those times. Like I would just always be some small stupid YouTuber, Rocket League was dead because Fortnite was the big game, and all the previous successes I had would just be completely forgotten the moment I put out a flop. It was so short-sighted of me to feel that way, but that's how it felt. Around this time, YouTube released new metrics which allowed you to view the performance of your latest video compared to your last 10 on the Studio app. So for instance, if it was the best video out of your last 10 views-wise, you would get a 1 out of 10 and it would give you a message like, "Good job!" and little confetti would spurt out, which is crazy because that's obviously giving you this huge dopamine hit. Wow! But if it did poorly, you would get, say, a 10 out of 10, and it would say, this video isn't appealing to your audience like normal. And this was obviously crushing to see. Now, I have to say, I do have some videos that never really did well views-wise, but I don't regret them because I enjoyed making them, or I just recognize that some topics aren't appealing to my audience. For example, video 225, I made a real-life Rocket League car, cosplay, never really took off, but that was probably because of some editing and narrative choices I made. The video It kind of had a slow start and didn't really ever explain why I'm making a real-life Rocket League car or where this video is going. But the results were pretty funny, and it was a good time. I mean, I got to spend days on an arts and crafts project for my job. So views don't always mean everything. One of the things I was learning from some of my 2019 content failures was that a lot of mods and alternate game modes didn't work well with my audience. I used to joke that the #1 way to flop a Rocket League video was showcase hoops, snow day, or drop shot in the title or thumbnail. 10 out of 10 every time. Remember, that's not a good thing. There would be some special exceptions in the future, but for the most part, my viewers liked the normal game that they were used to playing. So I tried to be as inventive as I could without straying too far from the regular game. That was a key strategy for me. Around this time, I started to get quite a bit better at Rocket League, thanks to the amount of time I had to devote to it. And I finally reached the highest rank in the game, Grand Champion. Unfortunately, I would hold on to the highest rank for only about a year and a half before Rocket League would add a new set of ranks higher than Grand Champion, GC2, GC3, and SSL. I would later peak at GC2, and I quickly realized the amount of time and work I'd have to put in to get higher was not going to be worth it, which is a nice way to say I wasn't good enough.
Alright, this will probably be short because the house isn't that big. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a decent background, like I could... Oh, I forgot to show that off. Can't let any sunlight in. This is important. Gamers, you have to block out the sunlight.
By the end of 2019, I developed a nice rhythm of a large variety of video types that I could return to without being too repetitive. I had guessed that rank, I had esports documentaries, I had Rocket League stereotypes too, which did even better than the first one.
Flip resets aren't really that hard when you think about it. Like, I've only practiced them obsessively for 300 to 600 hours, and I can already do them.
I had show matches, essays, game shows like Cash Merc, where I'd challenge random opponents to win money in my trivia game.
And tell me what pro that is.
Oh, it's JNevs.
Incorrect. That's actually Chicago.
Chicago, no!
Some of these 2019 videos are just so random, but they actually really worked. An example of that is Flump's wife versus my wife.
Oh, wait, that's, you're saving replays left and right on her.
This is the best thing I've ever seen.
That was the best mind game I've ever seen in my life.
Totally.
Or 231, every type of Rocket League player at a convention.
Hey guys, I just want to warn you all that I've been scammed. Can anyone help get my items back? I've contacted Psyonix and they said there's nothing they can do, but I'm thinking about going on Twitter and tagging every major Rocket League content creator in one post to see if that gets my items back.
And I also had a new format where I would just meet a noteworthy player in the community and basically just interview them, showcase their personality, and play Rocket League with them. It was fun, and I almost always felt a genuine connection to these people. I had actually done this before, like the video I did in 2017 with Quadnick, a quadriplegic gamer who had devised an incredible method for playing Rocket League. The format really popped off here in 2019 when I played with the youngest grand champion in the world. He turned out to be a really cool kid, and it was just an awesome experience getting to know him and his dad.
And his parents were so supportive, they got him this t-shirt and said he wore it for 3 days straight, which is probably the most heartwarming Rocket League story I've ever heard.
Not to mention, the video was a huge hit, and led me to develop this thumbnail design, which I would return to again and again on my channel, because it would always do so well. At the end of the year, I made this video while I was visiting my parents on Christmas vacation. Like, I took my PC to their house so I could keep working. It seems crazy now, but I really didn't take any time off. The video turned out great though.
SunlessKhan, what? $200 if you hit a musty flick now or in the next game? I'm not making $200 today, guys. Musty flick never actually done. Oh my god! Son of a... Are you kidding me?
Fun fact, this guy ended up designing the Rule 1 logo. Also making an appearance was a young Pulse Fire when he was just a little streamer.
$200 for a ceiling shot or... Am I on YouTube right now, dude?
In 2019, I made 67 videos, bringing my total to 258. I had 455,000 subscribers and 93 million total views. Now let's go to the year where everything changed. In January of 2020, I realized I had a new rival on YouTube. A young man named A Musty Cow started rapidly growing in popularity, thanks to a new mechanic he had discovered, clever video ideas, and perhaps most importantly, his high-level gameplay, which was something I never had. I had more subscribers than him at this point, but he was easily the fastest growing Rocket League YouTuber, and his rapid growth was lighting a fire of competitive spirit that, looking back, was incredibly helpful in my creative journey. I decided to publicly challenge Musty in a race to 1 million subscribers. I didn't even have 500,000 subscribers, but I could tell by how fast he was gaining it would be a really tight race. And boy was I right. The challenge was instantly embraced by the community, and both of our channels started gaining subs at a quicker rate. The other large Rocket League channels, namely Jazer, Squishy, and Mertzy, also joined in on this race.
You guys are probably tired of YouTubers talking too much at the beginning of their videos, like, oh, make sure to like and comment. Oh, these guys are paying me so much to say this. Or, oh, make sure to subscribe to me so I can get 1 million subscribers before Musty. Blah, 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 blah.
Now, just like in 2019, I got off to a slow start in 2020. But all that changed when I uploaded video number 264. I tried getting carried by a pro into RLCS. To this day, this is another one of my absolute favorite memories playing Rocket League. I had the idea that if I got a pro who was no longer seriously competing, in this case Lethamir, would they be able to carry me into RLCS, which was open to anyone provided you could win the play-in tournaments. We needed one more player for the team, and I made the decision that many thought would be our doom. Rather than finding a second established pro to give me better odds, I decided to invite Musty since it would give us even more publicity for the 1 million subscriber race, if we were successful. I'll try not to spoil the video too much, but basically, we were successful, and the video has 5 million views today. When the pandemic hit the United States in March, I was forced to stay home and do pretty much nothing except make Rocket League videos. Shame. Every single video I released in 2020 after January 18th got 1 million views. Not a single flop. A lot of people ask me if COVID gave me more views, and I would say the answer is yes. I did see an uptick in viewership. But there'd be something at the end of the year that would have a much bigger impact on my channel than COVID did. Throughout the summer of 2020, I produced some of my best and most viewed videos. But the crazy thing is, when I posted them, they got a pretty normal amount of views. It wasn't until later that this string of videos would go viral retroactively, thanks to the thing that I hinted at before. One of these successes came from me scouting out Musty's channel. I saw that he had done a pretty fun idea where he played against 7 silver players at once, which is quite impressive and something I wouldn't have been able to do at the time. So I couldn't really compete with it. And then it hit me. I had done all kinds of show matches before, so why couldn't I just find a pro to play 7 golds and then just commentate on the match? But I wasn't really sure if it'd be entertaining or not. I wanted to get someone who had never been on the channel before to make it even more interesting, and I knew they'd have to be really good to play against 7 players at once. So I reached out to literally the best player in the world at the time, Justin. He was actually the player that scored the best goal in Rocket League history back in 2018. He agreed to do the video, and 1 pro versus 7 golds, Impossible Rocket League Challenge, has 9.7 million views today. The high-level player versus a ton of low-ranked players show match concept actually works so well, it's now one of the most repeated types of content in Rocket League. So, you're welcome. Or, sorry. Soon after that, I started a new series where I would record any moment when I was playing Rocket League and there was someone being toxic or ridiculous in the game, and then make a compilation of all the funniest parts after about a month. Now realize, this is before free-to-play, so I want to emphasize once again that going free-to-play did not make Rocket League toxic. It was toxic before. This ended up being quite a fun format, and my audience loved it. This is one of the few series that I continue to this day, but I no longer call it Toxic Moments because it's really just funny moments, so I just come up with a unique title every time. In April, I did something completely different again. I had the idea to host a show match with pros playing a relatively normal Rocket League game, except it would be absurdly long, allowing me to title the video, "The Longest Game in Rocket League History," which I knew would be a crazy big hit.
Timer broke! We have a broken timer!
To add to the drama, we decided to make this a live stream event, and we would just play until the match server died. So we had no idea when the game would actually end. It was pretty epic.
That's
what?
Amir just tweeted his power.
This video now has a staggering 13 million views and is my third most viewed video of all time. I made this thumbnail, and then I was like, And then I made this thumbnail, and then I was like, And then I made this thumbnail, and I was like, wait, this is the perfect one. Actually, let me move this down a little bit, now let me go back. 2020 was such a stressful and scary year in real life, so my work on YouTube was really an escape from that. I remember the joy I would feel just from uploading a creative video during that time and thinking that was one of the few things that just made everything feel okay. My fourth most viewed video of all time would come a couple weeks later when I tricked toxic players into 1v1ing a pro. This is another lightning in a bottle type piece of content. I mean, the stars really aligned for me on this one. I got extremely lucky with how it played out. The Rocket League community is a special breed, and I ran into some very mean, very confident players who I got to watch get absolutely humbled by Lethamyr. It was a huge hit, and the whole thing came from an idea from a comment. Props to that guy. It's crazy how many of my videos feature Lethamyr. He was just always down to help out, and I really appreciated that. Every time I'd come to him with a video idea, he would say yes. He was super hardworking, so he was always available, and he has a great content brain. Like when he's in a video, he understands that he's putting on a show.
Ooh!
Oh my God.
He said you're so lucky.
Looking back, this really was an insane run of content on the channel, because just 2 videos later, I struck absolute gold once again. YouTube commenters versus the diamond player they roasted. I got so lucky with this video, it went so perfectly that I've gotten tons of comments accusing me of faking it. It's not fake, it's 100% real. The people featured in this video are actually the ones that had talked trash to this diamond player. Watch the video for the full story, but basically we got the best revenge arc ever from a guy named Papa Moon. What a legend. In June, there was an announcement from Rocket League that would have a profound impact on my channel. The game was going free to play. Originally around $20, Rocket League was popular enough, but now with the cost barrier removed, this was a big step for growing the game even more, and was something many of us had asked the developer Psyonix to do years ago. But Psyonix was no longer in charge. The studio had been bought by Epic Games, the developer of Fortnite, and now they were going to bring the same business model to Rocket League. Free game, with paid cosmetics for revenue instead of game sales. So I knew free-to-play would increase the player base, but I wasn't sure how that would impact my channel. So I was excited to see what would happen, but I was pretty unprepared. I had no idea that the videos I was making would one day be the most viewed on my channel. For video 288, I commissioned someone who specialized in mods to add a simple little aimbot to the game.
That's right, we literally made the first Rocket League aimbot.
This followed perfectly with my strategy of making a slight tweak in its visual appearance. The tweak itself was quite extreme. It was a pretty funny looking aimbot.
What is that?
I basically challenged a bunch of my friends and slowly turned up the power until it was incredibly obvious that I was playing with a pretty huge advantage. When I put this video out, I thought it was good, but I definitely didn't envision it becoming my most viewed video ever. 295, playing in every rank from bronze to pro level in one day. This took me forever to organize because I had to find someone from every single rank to play on their account. This video is actually illegal now. I got a message from the Psyonix community manager, and I am not supposed to make these videos anymore because it involves playing on someone else's account. Thankfully, I already made the sequel before I got that message, because these got quite a few views, probably more than they deserve. I would say these are my most overrated videos.
Give me 5 double jumps right now. What?
Video number 300, we trained 2 silver players for a week. Oh, this was one of my absolute favorites as well. I got to coach a silver player and see how much they progressed in 2 weeks. I mean, this was just really wholesome and fun. Finally, in September of 2020, 2 huge things happened. My channel hit 1 million subscribers and my gold YouTube plaque arrived. Though I had come in second to Musty, who hit the number just before me.
Perfect.
And the second thing is Rocket League went free to play on my birthday. Happy birthday to me!
Okay, who likes
Rocket League?
It will never die.
You know, on the other hand, maybe we need to kill it now. As you can see, I had mixed feelings about it. The effects weren't felt until October, when one day I was looking at my analytics and I noticed that my views had spiked as if I had uploaded a video, but I hadn't. The graph was just spiking for no reason. Each day, it spiked higher and higher, and I still hadn't uploaded that week. To a YouTuber to receive that many views without uploading was like the hand of God coming down to deliver a gift. This was the beginning of a massive viewership increase on my channel that would last for several years until the hype of free-to-play died down. All of the moderately successful videos I mentioned this year started going viral months after I had posted them. Do you ever have this problem in Rocket League where you just score too much? This video got 1 million views in one day. I had this problem where I was just too good and I kept scoring tons of goals and winning all my games. But not anymore. Introducing Missbot. It was a wild feeling seeing my channel pop off from all the work I'd put in the last couple years. And my channel's overall monthly views went from 8 million to 50 million. It was crazy. While this unexpected view spike was really amazing, I still remember feeling mixed emotions about it. We were still in the depths of COVID, tons of people were stuck home, laid off. It wasn't really a fun time. The thing that made me the happiest was when I would put out a video that my viewers really loved, like when it made everything feel okay during those first couple months of lockdown. It's really easy to get tied up in views. Even in this video, I catch myself tying success to the view count. But this view spike wasn't necessarily happening because I was making way better videos. My topic was just trending. But if I hadn't made a library of 300 videos, some duds, some very good, I wouldn't have even been in the right place to receive such luck. Lego Rocket League, oh my god. So if you ever want to insult me accurately, just say, you peaked in 2020, because you would be absolutely correct. I made some damn good videos in 2020 and got super lucky with the game going free to play right after that. At the end of the year, I created my favorite video on my channel, number 320. I created the easiest training pack in the world and it still made Rocket League players rage. I love this video because it has a great setup, a great story, great characters, it's totally authentic, and I barely talk in it.
Explain how much you just made.
In 2020, I made 61 videos. My subscriber count was 1.6 million after only hitting 1 million in September. That's the free-to-play effect coming in. And 302 million views. What could the next year possibly bring? 2021, year 7. The reality of every peak in life is you must one day come down. Nothing's happening. What? Thankfully, it was a slow descent, and I enjoyed the continued high viewership for most of 2021. Though I started to recognize that I couldn't keep up this pace forever. I'd been making fewer videos per year ever since my ridiculous total of 121 made in 2018. But in 2021, I got on a really consistent 1 video per week schedule, which worked really nicely for me, and still gave me enough time to make some really good videos. 324, score a goal, go down a rank in Rocket League was genuinely inventive. And guess what? It was another viewer idea. I actually really enjoyed organizing a project like this. There would be quite a few participants needed of various ranks, and I would use sign-up sheets where viewers could enter their Discord information and rank so I could populate the video with whatever matchups I wanted. I'd personally reach out to each participant, and they'd usually be super pumped to be in a video, which always gave the project so much energy. A large majority of my videos I also have edited myself, including all of my most viewed videos. But there were periods where I would get burnt out and found it extremely helpful to hire editors to help me. At times I even hired full-time assistants. One of my favorite assistant editors actually ended up getting hired by Psyonix. And I was sad to see him go, but very happy for him because he was probably a little too talented to be working for me. I was never really comfortable being a manager, and honestly, I don't know if I was ever really a good boss either. I like control, but I don't like telling people what to do, which is an annoying combination of personality traits. I didn't delegate a lot. But I have to give credit where it's due and thank the wonderful editors and assistants I did work with. Flixie, Zeke, and Nixolay come to the forefront of my mind. Since 2019, I had been signed to the long-standing Rocket League org, Space Station Gaming, and I felt like that partnership really peaked here in 2021, when I released a collaboration with two SSG pros, Reddles and Arsenal, where we entered an SSL tournament together, and it was one of the most difficult and fun experiences I've had in the game. The contrast between my boomer energy and Reddles and Arsenal rapid-fire zoomer energy is just quite the combination.
Yeah, no cap. All right, good pass on us.
Thanks.
My bad.
Nice hit, nice shot. Hey, we're really coming together as a team, I think.
The ghost ones kind of throw me off, but besides that, we're looking good.
We won the tournament, and the video was one of my most viewed that year.
We did it!
We did it. To the moon. Space Station Gaming, so I'm so proud of us. Oh, wow, look how
Let's
good.
go!
This year, I broke my rule of not going crazy with mods by going completely crazy with every mod.
Warning, you cannot unsee what you're about to witness. That's terrifying!
It really worked though, because it had a progression that viewers could follow, and it was very unique. Sometimes my videos could get away with just that alone, being unique. Like I challenged pros to 1v1 as a giant hot dog.
I have to bump you with like the middle of your wiener.
Or Rocket League with no balls.
Think about it. You can't miss the ball if there is no ball.
It also had my secret ingredient for a good video.
Come down, lad.
Lethemir.
Wait, I'll bring you down,
Please let me down.
Where's the grab?
I'm stuck. I actually can't move.
Okay, I found it. Did you fall?
Oh, thanks, man.
Oh, there we go. I took my show match concept even further with 20 silvers versus a pro, which was just a really fun video, and I just remember having a lot of fun in general at this
It's like
time.
rounding up a bunch of kids. No one can score on us, literally, guys. We are a brick wall.
I will.
Oh, no. No, save it.
Overall, 2021 was a very good year for me. But I have to say my most interesting moment of the year came in video number 347, when I got to play Rocket League with Seth Rogen.
You picking a car right now?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. You guys really got to walk me through. Pretend you're playing with like a very old man who hasn't picked up a computer.
That was probably the most nervous I'd ever been for a video, but it ended up being a highlight of my Rocket League career for sure.
Do you look like me too?
I look, apparently I look a little bit like you.
I find they go hand in hand.
And apparently I laugh like you too.
Now I did have some flops this year. This isn't 2020 anymore. Like when I challenged strangers to score a goal with this remote control Rocket League car. This was actually super fun to record, and I met some awesome people. But the bottom line is watching people drive a car at 2 miles an hour into a net for 15 minutes is not that exhilarating. I should mention that we did use these cars in a previous video, which was much more successful, where we played on an indoor soccer field I rented. This guy Lance does an amazing job with these replica Rocket League cars, and it was just a really fun project to work together on. The funny thing about the sequel that flopped is the concept was actually based on something I'd done back in 2018 when my friend Manavolt and I went to our local mall and park to 1v1 people on this Rocket League Hot Wheels set.
Get scored on!
I would say the Hot Wheels set is less exciting than the RC car, but maybe the old video was just executed better or had a better thumbnail. I don't know.
Let's see what cars they have. No, not that one. No way. They have the Merc. This is absolutely insane.
Next, I made a video that has my community begging for a sequel to this day. It might be one of the funniest videos I've made, and it mostly wasn't because of me. I made a Rocket League esports parody called RLBS and hired my caster friends to cast this monstrosity.
Take it away, Johnny and Shogun.
Excited would be an understatement. This has all of the classic hallmarks of an absolute magnificent game of Rocket League. Johnny, we have got the new Dignitas roster against a team of bronzes. How do you see this going?
Now I'm going to tell you about the most mad I've ever gotten from a comment, and the video that resulted because of it. I almost didn't put this in the video because it definitely paints me as extremely petty, very proud, and a little jealous. But unfortunately, that's who I am. It all started when one of my fellow Rocket League YouTubers, Waitin, released a really great esports documentary, and I was reading the comments after I watched it. I took great exception to these three. This is the type of high quality content I love, and it used to be the reason I was subscribed to Sunless. You can easily tell how Waiton takes an idea for a video. He researches, dissects, structures, comes up with a planned script, then edits it to make it all fall into place. What do you think I do? Do you think I fart out my content with no planning or script? Just wham bam, thank you ma'am? Totally agree. It's why I first subbed to Sunless. He doesn't really do content like that anymore. I would like to remind everyone at this point that we did not have an RLCS LAN for 2 years because of COVID. There was an empty space for these documentary type RL videos, and Waiton is delivering exceptionally well. Bro, who do you think created the space? Give me some respect. Exactly this. Khan used to be my favorite RL YouTuber, but now his videos are so uninteresting and repetitive compared to Waiton, who I describe as Sunless in his prime and then twice as good. Now I know I said listen to your haters, but I have limits. This pissed me off so much. All those years I had spent coming up with every single possible angle I could take on a single game, and this dude is calling my content uninteresting and repetitive because I don't make enough esports documentaries. I agreed with all their points about Waiton being great, but why couldn't they just compliment him without bringing me down? You want an esports documentary? I'll give you an esports documentary. I had this idea from my friend Johnny Boy to do a story on Sandrock Gaming, but I'd been sitting on it for over a year. Now I had my motivation. I interviewed the owner of Sandrock and Civic and was genuinely moved by their story. So I created what I think is my most polished documentary.
I wanted to help them out, so I told them to give me a decision at that moment. It's the first time I ever meet them, bro. I said, if you all leave your team right now, I'll make a team tomorrow. And we did it. They weren't under contract and I just took them. And I made a surgery.
I even entered it into a few film festivals and won some awards. It wasn't Sundance, but it was something. I gave special thanks to my haters in the credits. In 2021, I made 52 videos, once a week pace. I had 2 million subscribers and 500 million views. This graph is getting completely pointless, isn't it? 2022, year 8. Welcome to Rocket League, your favorite video game you don't play anymore. Let me show you around the facility so you can realize what you're missing out this season. And this is where the downfall of SunlessKhan truly begins. I'm being dramatic, but views were going down for all Rocket League content creators. While I was expecting this to happen as the free-to-play boom wore off, I admit there was a small part of me that hoped Rocket League would always be as popular as it was in 2020 and 2021. I don't know if my views were going down because my content was getting worse, or if my content was getting worse because my views were going down. I like to think it was the latter, mainly because my views chart matched Rocket League's popularity with surprising exactness. While I did post some of my best work in 2020, I have to admit not all of them were great. I mean, I had a farming simulator intro, and this still got 1 million views in 2020. There was just so much general interest in my channel's topic, so it was just easier to get views at that time. That's an important lesson I would later learn. Single topic YouTube channels are at the mercy of viewership trends of that topic. That's not all bad though, because it's easier to find an audience with a single topic, and you can experience the benefits of your topic booming. I was also uploading less frequently, and I was becoming more interested in other pursuits, like history, food, and music. I even made channels about some of those topics, and I still posted them sometimes. This one has almost 1 million views. But then in May 2022, I received a new jolt of energy for Rocket League. For the first time since December of 2019, the RLCS was back for an in-person event, the Winter Major in LA. I haven't really mentioned how much I enjoyed going to these events. For one, I was a huge RLCS fan, and I'd gone to every single championship and major since that first LAN I attended in London. I always called these events Rocket League Con because it was the place where everyone who was obsessed with the game could come together and watch the best players in the world in a huge stadium and nerd out together. The games were always thrilling, and it was just always a blast. It was a chance for me to meet and hang out with my fellow Rocket League content creators, casters, and fans in real life, which was just so cool. I was just a tiny YouTuber in 2018, but literally the first people that saw me when I walked into the stadium said, "Are you SunlessKhan?" And I just looked at Manival and laughed. I was really caught off guard by how many viewers picked me out and asked for pictures and autographs. Like this fanboy. I hadn't practiced an autograph, like what am I supposed to write? Jared? SunlessKhan? As the seasons went by, it was awesome watching how big these events got. But when COVID hit, all that went away. It was nice to be able to focus on content and not travel anywhere, but I really missed these RLCS events, and I knew everyone in the community did too. When we finally got in-person events back, we were blessed with a really good one, and I went home and made video number 383, the best save in Rocket League history. I remember telling my wife I forgot what it was like to be so excited about Rocket League content again. I loved making this video. Later that spring, Rocket League released a new game mode called Knockout. But as much as the Rocket League community clamors for new modes and new content, a vast majority just stick to vanilla Rocket League, and that was definitely the case here too. And this lines up with my own observations on view trends that I've mentioned. Throughout the summer of 2022, I tried to keep things fresh and come up with new video ideas, but it was less exciting with views continuing to fall. I tried not to care about views. I still had an engaged audience, so I just hunkered down and kept going. Every once in a while, I would put out a hit video like 401. But I found it difficult to string together viral videos consistently at this time. So I may have been running out of gas a little bit, but I still had some good videos in me. In late 2022, I partnered with Incivic, the previous owner of Sandrock Gaming, to launch our own esports org called Rule 1. Now remember, announcements don't get views. So I hid the announcement inside of another video that appeared like a normal video, but really it was all built up just for this announcement at the end. I think it turned out pretty great. The goal was to sign a team of pros and compete in the RLCS, which was a dream come true for me. I absolutely loved working with Incivic, and I love the brand that we came up with. We ended up signing an amazing team, which included a set of identical twins named Rawas and Killers. At the end of the year, I ran a special tournament just for the highest level console players in the world. Generally, all the top competitive players play Rocket League on PC, so I had the idea to give the winner of the console tournament a PC. The craziest part about this whole thing is the winner, Nas, is currently one of the best pros in the world. I think he was going to get a PC soon anyway, but it was still really cool to see. In 2022, I made 40 videos. I added a modest 100k subscribers, and while my views were down, I still got 82 million that year. And so now we come to the modern era of my YouTube channel, 2023, year 9. This is a Rocket League psychology experiment right here. Do not score. Can you resist? No, don't score. Wow, this guy actually resisted. In my 9th year of playing Rocket League, I was a little worried that interest and viewership in the game would just keep going down further and further. But in 2023, Rocket League proved its staying power, and the player base settled into a very consistent number that holds pretty much the same even now. Oh, look at these beautiful people. There's so many. Hello, everyone. I really welcome this, as I no longer had to see every single video I put out smacked with a 10 out of 10. In January, I made video number 414, a pro Rocket League experiment. I got the idea for this from watching the show Taskmaster. Another big inspiration for me is Nathan Fielder and his show Nathan For You and The Rehearsal. And you can see those influences in this video.
I love the idea that you can take something as simple as a game like Rocket League and use it as a stage for a game that's a little more
These types of videos
real.
made me dive more and more into the world of editing. My recordings could be up to a couple hours long, and I'd had to get that down to about 20 minutes. So I learned pretty fast that anything that doesn't contribute to the main storyline has got to go.
Oh, this is so stressful.
But if you cut too many bits of flavor, too many jokes, or character development moments, the video will seem empty and emotionless.
Oh, you're right. I didn't think.
So the main challenge of editing is understanding what needs to go and what needs to stay. That's where talent really shows. It's not a bunch of stupid tricks and wish transitions. It's understanding what people like and giving it to them. That's why I like doing my own editing. I like making those decisions.
This is like when I was a kid playing in my sandbox and I created a matchup of 2 Tonka trucks versus 4 pillars of poorly constructed sand.
But the downside of this, it takes a ton of work. And the most painful thing about all my videos is they all took a ton of work, even the duds. But that's the risk you take. Lesson number 1, putting in lots of work doesn't guarantee success on YouTube. But the practice is good for you. I think. I hope. I was now uploading once every 2 weeks, which was a good pace that was working well. After well over 400 videos, I had said most of what I needed to say about Rocket League. I was now 30 years old, and I found myself growing out of the scene a little bit. I never felt unwelcome, and there are plenty of folks in the community who are older than me, like the 70-year-old Vapor. But I found myself becoming more interested in other things. From 2019 to 2021, Rocket League really was my life. I didn't have a lot else going on. And I don't regret that. It was amazing to dive in fully to something I was passionate about and very creatively fulfilling. It was just that by 2023, I needed a break. A big break. I still made some really epic videos that year that I'm really proud of, like when we made the biggest game in Rocket League history, or when I told the entire story of how we created Rule 1 in video number 433. And this one on the epic 1v1 versus Khaled and Fairy Peak. But at the end of the year, I was realizing I needed a pretty big change. I announced that I was stepping back from Rocket League indefinitely, but that I hoped I would return in some capacity someday. I knew I would probably want to make videos again eventually, but I also knew it probably wouldn't quite ever be the same again. And I was definitely right about that. In 2023, I made just 27 long-form videos, bringing my total to 445. I had 2.2 million subscribers and 644 million views. 2024, year 10. For the first time in 8 years, Rocket League is changing. Or is it? My time away from Rocket League ended up being about 3 months, which actually isn't that long if you think about it. But as I had suspected, it wasn't quite the same. I uploaded just 11 videos in 2024, so about once a month. Sometimes a couple times a month, other times big spaces in between, and that's an irregular rhythm that I maintain today. You never know when I'm going to drop a video. Keeps my audience on their toes. I'm actually really proud of some of my videos from this new Sunless era. In May, I uploaded video number 448, hard stuck at the top.
Sunless is washed and trash. He played the game for 7 years and is still hard stuck. Like, how is that possible? No, I played the game for 8 years, actually. What rank do you think I should be? You think I should be SSL? Oh, okay. So instead of being in the top 0.06%, you want me to be in the top 0.02%. Only then would I have your respect.
Someone took a quote from this video and remixed it to a sweet saxophone track, and it went viral on YouTube Shorts.
I'm hard stuck, all right, but I'm hard stuck at the top.
Hundreds of videos use this sound as the background for their clips, which I found utterly adorable and quite flattering.
But I'm hard stuck at the top.
One of the sadder aspects of me stepping away from Rocket League is Civic was left to run Rule 1 by himself, which isn't really something that appealed to him, since he already did that with Sandrock Gaming. So we decided to shut down the org. Then I randomly uploaded a Battlefield 1 video, which obviously did terrible, but it's okay, I was expecting it. Every time I play a game other than Rocket League, I get comments like this. Really, Sunless? After so many years of hard-earned Rocket League trust, you're gonna show us this new stupid game? Uninstall, unsub, unexist. Thankfully, I had a Rocket League video ready to go right after that. That video ended up being pretty insane. Number 456, I trained 3 diamond players, but they were only allowed to do one thing. You should really watch that one, it has a crazy plot twist. I continue to upload videos from the series I used to call Every Toxic Player, and they still do great views-wise today, usually reaching 1 million views after about 8 months, which is pretty nice. Because these videos have no strict format, it allows me to explore creatively.
Defense, 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 defense.
And like I said, my audience loves them, so that's really why this series is still alive.
Defense, defense, offense, 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 offense.
Ah, look where we are now. 2025, 1 decade later. Today, I'm still uploading Rocket League videos.
Alright guys, so I was able to obtain a copy of Rocket League 2 on Unreal Engine 5.
I go through periods where I don't play the game for a few weeks or months. Then, predictable as ever, I'll get sucked right back in and play obsessively for months.
We're back. We're so back.
That happened to me in the summer of 2025 and led me to reach my old peak rank of GC2. That felt pretty good. Kind of like a, oh man, still got it moment. I still really love this game, and I still love making videos about it, even if I don't do it as much as I used to. I got incredibly lucky in these last 10 years. Just the fact that YouTube as a platform exists is amazing, because I feel like I was made to be here. The YouTube life was stressful and extremely mentally taxing at times. but most often it was exhilarating. These days, I'm really sad that I don't have the desire to upload as much as I used to. It almost physically pains me. It really does tax me. But I'm just thankful for the times I got. I never had to pitch my ideas to a board or get approval from anyone. I could just try out ideas and see what worked and what didn't. Before I end this video, I want to say two things. One, I want to thank everyone who has watched a video of mine over the years. Whether it was one video or all 480 of them, you all were ultimately the reason I did it. If I didn't have those viewers in early 2017, I never would have kept going. Today, the comments I get on my videos are pretty much the sole reason I upload at all. I literally have no other reason. So thank you. And two, to end on a positive note, I want to announce that the very next upload on this channel will be the return of RLBS. Except it's for real this time. I made an actual league called RLBS with 8 crazy franchises, 16 pro level players, a full season, playoffs, and championship all speedrun in one massive video. I'm really excited for you to see it. So how did I go from complete noob to pro YouTuber? I have no idea. It just happened. Once again, in video number 481, I'm SunlessKhan. Thanks for watching.